Welcome to the 2022 FargoRate Ohio Open, brought to you by Predator and CSI. We're coming to you live from the Roberts Center in Wilmington, Ohio. My name is Tony Robles, and I'm joined by Tim de Ruyter to bring you this exciting match between Eklent Kaci and Chang Jung-Lin. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Good morning, Tony. Good, good. I'm very looking forward to this match. Will be a cracker.
Yeah, no, this is definitely going to be a tough match.
First opening match of also the tournament. First day here. And, I mean, you can almost say both players had an unlucky draw, but there's more matches like this. The field is very strong this time. Might be the strongest field we've ever had in the FargoRate series. So, can't wait.
And it's tricky because when you have 128 players, you know, you have a better chance of ending up with maybe a slightly easier match in the beginning. But since this one is limited to just 64 players, that's why you have so many marquee matchups to begin with.
Yeah, quite wild break from Kaci. Lost the cue ball a lot there, but two balls flew in. And position on the one with a quite easy layout here. Just getting on the two ball might be a little risky, as if he leaves himself this angle, he will go automatically in the six, run into the six. So
that's where he's looking. He's thinking to himself, if I leave the cue ball here, how can I escape the six to get to the three? I mean, it's possible if he can get a thin enough cut to just go by the six and stop around the line where the spot is, where you rack the balls, and I think he'll be fine there. He might have gotten a little more angle. Let me see. He's good there. Just needs to negotiate the speed here.
yeah, also risky thing, if he decides to play this with a lot of left spin, he's probably going to cheat the pocket a little bit. So most players would miss this on the short rail, hit it the thick way. So I always tell myself to overcut this shot in case, yeah, if I would try to miss it, almost like that way. Just to make sure that
he's thinking about it.
Attention, please.
I think he can still squeeze by the six. Two
Yeah,
rails.
if he's able to hit it full enough, he can. If not, then I think he has to hit it with inside spin. It all depends on whether or not he can hit this ball on the thicker side.
Or is he going to play inside him? Just hit it real thin. Oh, I like that better.
Yeah.
That's a good shot.
Well, that's what I said earlier. If you leave it by the line where the spot is, where you rack the balls, he has a better chance of getting on the three ball as long as he negotiates the speed. Even if he were to get straight on this five here, he can always draw straight back past the six. So I don't really see him having any problems here unless he gets on the wrong side of the five. He overhit that a bit, did he?
No, I think it's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Just bridging over this seven ball. Might be able to just put his hand on the other side of the seven and take a little longer stroke, but it's a quite routine shot. This stun left.
Do you like going two rails here or just past the seven?
Yeah, I like two rails.
Yeah, I like two rails as well. I like going towards that ball.
If you play just to hit the second rail, just soft, bump the second rail, you're always good on the six. You're never on the rail. You always go towards your next shot.
And that's what I tell my students, Tim. When you're coming off that second rail, it's so important to make sure that you come off the second rail with just enough speed so that the cue ball doesn't freeze on the rail. Because so many times they try to get so perfect, and then they end up under-hitting it, and they end up frozen to the rail.
And
I wonder if he's thinking about going between the 9 and the 10 here, or if he has a perfect angle to go right past the 10 and then back to the center of the table.
Well, knowing him, I mean, he always plays with a lot of confidence. I think he would just play with top spin, going short rail back up. I don't think he's going to slow roll this. He usually doesn't play these kind of shots. He can stun around the 9 too. Yeah.
Oh, he did go between.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel the stun around the 9.
Yeah. Well, I thought the stun run was there. I just think he hit it too low. I don't think he meant to hit it that low.
Yeah, but you know how it goes. With the slicker cloth, it's tough because if you just hit it a little bit lower in the cue ball, it's always such a big difference already. The cloth might have gotten him, got him in there,
nice.
but.
And that's true because as we know, we both know, every time you hit the ball low with regular draw, according to the equipment you're used to playing on, it draws way easier on the brand new cloth. So Eklent takes the first brack and is leading 1-0. This is a race to 4. If a player wins the first 2 sets, the match is over. If they end up splitting sets, we go to a sudden death shootout.
Yeah, Kaci started with break and run here. Former world champion 10 ball. Also runner-up, world 9 ball, or semi-finalist, I think, in Qatar. And a Mosconi Cup member.
And he breaks like a monster. I mean, watch this monster break.
More control on the cue ball. A lot of movement.
Oh, look, where'd it go? No.
No ball.
Came just short of making the 6 on the side.
Well, difference with last break is now the cue ball did hop, but it didn't have that huge pop. Like the last break, it really flew way more up to the table, so the balls start to react differently if you, with how different the cue ball pops, it's a different result usually.
Yeah, you get the sense that he took a little speed off it in order to control it more, and that made the difference in not making a ball. Because that 6 ball just barely hung in front of the side. And of course, Mr. Chang Jung-Lin, I consider not only one of the best players on the planet, but one of the most consistent ones.
Yeah, good player under the gun, under the pressure. He's very strong, and just I'm curious to see what he does with that 5 ball. As from this view, it might look like the 5 goes, but it might be a tough call. So
we're about to find out, depending how he gets on the 4. I think it goes.
He could decide to maybe bump into it, draw softly into it, but he's left himself quite straight, so this 5 ball must go.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
Little stun run there.
Looks like it goes, otherwise he would not play this.
Well, what I like about what he did here is that you can tell it's tight. A lot of people would say, well, why did he get straight on the 5? Because he probably can barely fit that ball there. He wants to get as straight as possible, so that way it makes it easier for you to get that accurate hit.
Yeah, the more angle you give yourself, the tougher it is to judge. And looking good from here.
He's either going to draw or just tap it and hit it very thin.
Yeah, just draw back a one diamond.
There you go. Yep, he's going to draw.
Yeah, I can see he doesn't have the speed of the table
down yet.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten it yet because he's ending up straight a couple times already. Still nothing to worry about. He can still draw this back.
Just come off one rail and go towards that 8 ball. Well, not even.
No.
Yeah, no, I thought you had more angle. Again, he's one of the most consistent players on the planet, I think. It's rare that I've ever seen him play a bad set. That's pretty strong in this day and age.
Yeah, now nice angle to go 2 rails around for the 10 ball in the same corner pocket as the 9. Low right.
I noticed the Taiwanese players like using the swivel method. Do you use that method, Tim? No. Where you aim the ball starting out with center and then you swivel the cue stick.
No, I don't do that. No. I try to hit it where I'm aiming. In the
yeah,
cue
I'm
ball.
the same way. but it seems to be very effective. It seems like a lot of the Europeans use that technique. The Taiwanese use it. A lot of the Europeans use it. Very nice.
So it goes in. Jung-Lin draws a score, 1 each. Break and run, and run out after.
Mr. John Lehman, official referee of the event.
Yeah, wrecking the Predator Arcos II balls with the Predator Aero Rack. Just about to ask the tournament desk something, not sure.
We were going to go to a break and we will be right back. And we're back. Score tied 1-1 between Eklent Kaci and Jung-Lin. With Chang to break.
Yeah, we are playing 2 races to 4, and if they tie 1 each, we have a shootout. Also, they're playing with a shot clock here, so no slow play. Let's see what Chang can do.
Hit those nice, but there's a 10 going in. Nope.
And in the Pro Billiard Series format, a early 10-ball combination does count as a win. So that means that that 10-ball is very dangerous around that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fortunate to not leave the 1 ball, but I'm sure Kaci has an answer to all that.
Well, I don't think he can dig deep enough to hit underneath the 1 and send the cue ball towards the 10. It looks like the 9 ball's in the way. The 9 ball's blocking him. 1 might be too close to the cushion anyway to begin with.
Yeah, he might be able to just lock the 2 and the 4 up. Got the 4 together with the 2 and leave the cue ball in the corner where the 8 is, just to slow your opponent down if you leave a shot at the end of the safety battle.
Yeah, prolonging the game is a good idea, as long as you don't need that billiard or combination on the 10 ball.
Yeah, it's a tricky.
And he's being smart in taking the amount of time that he's taking, simply because he knows how strong his opponent is. All it takes is 1 mistake for you to lose a match.
Another thing I really like is maybe shooting the 9 into the 10 and bringing the cue ball back up to the 8, just to make sure that 10 is out of the way. Like,
I'm surprised he did that.
Oh, well, he did certainly leave that carom on, and Chang called it. And this is a good 2-way shot too, as he might be banking the 1 behind the 5 and the 6 for cover.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't hit it too hard and end up having the 1 come back to that side of the table, I think he'll be fine.
Tough though, long shot, long carom.
See, if the 1 comes, look at that, look at that. But like I said, if the 1 comes back to that side of the table, he might sell out.
The only thing I'm wondering is he played this with left spin, which to my it feels like
right
I would
spin.
play the opposite, because it's always going to twist the 10 ball to the pocket. So I will ask him later. No. Interesting choice.
Don't ask him, he might ask you to gamble.
Yeah, true. Yeah. He might be, who are you? You want to gamble?
Yeah.
I might be in trouble.
Very nice shot by Eklent.
Yeah, good cue ball. And Yeah, also surprised to see that he left that one ball in the open. So two ways, not the best shot from Chang. And
Well, that's the thing. I said that if he probably didn't have a choice but to bring the one back to that side of the pocket because of the speed that was required to make the 10. And if anything, I think you would want to hit that with a little more speed to have the one ball go to the center of the table at least and use the 3 and the 7 as a blocker. You might need to get straighter on this 4 to play the 5 ball in the lower left-hand corner pocket if it doesn't go past the 8. It's a little tough to tell from here if it goes.
yeah, either way would be good. If he leaves himself an angle, he could do a little bit more. But being straight is doable.
Yep, I think he's going to go the corner route.
I think it would go in the bottom left corner from this view. But he has to cheat the pocket a little bit. So he needs to get really nice on the 5 to do it.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, he's a supremely confident player. So regardless of whether he ends up, as long as he doesn't end up with the ball behind the ball, he's very comfortable pretty much making the ball from anywhere on the table.
And I think it has to do with his rhythm. Like, he doesn't really shoot until he knows what he's going to do, which makes him a lot more confident because he knows, okay, I'm going to play this position. And if you keep doing the same thing and you know where you're going to end up, then you're in control. So that gives a lot of confidence. I think really that helps him play this well. And he got perfect on the 5 just to stun off the rail for the 6 in the same pocket.
It's amazing how everyone has a different preference, right? Because I might have just tapped that 5 ball in and played the 6 in the side just to minimize the movement of the cue ball.
Yeah, and that's the preference. Like I said before, he's not the slow roll, soft stroke kind of player. He really likes to just let the stroke go, you know, confident strokes.
But as powerful as his stroke is, he's pretty good at finessing the ball when he needs to.
Yeah, but I don't know why I just see him shoot like the 7 ball. That's like really his kind of shot.
Yeah,
It's just
I
blasting those balls.
can definitely see that.
So a little draw, a minimum left probably to get off the rail. And a natural angle to go. 2 rails, just top spin, maybe also another tip of right. To go 2 rails towards the 10.
Perfect.
It looks like his push out worked. 2-1, Eklent Kaci over Jung-Lin. Both also finished quite good in the last US Open. Still, from what I've seen on Facebook, they were not really satisfied. They said, well, I was playing good, but not happy.
Yeah. I mean, you're your own worst critic, and you always want better.
Yeah.
So that's a testament to their determination to win a big tournament.
So let's thank our sponsors and partners for this event. I want to give them a huge shout out. We have FargoRate, Predator Cues, CueSports International, and the US Pro Billiard Series partners are Seabirds Billiard Supplies, Kamui, Alpha Coin, Jam Up Apparel, and Medaya Light. Thank you everyone for supporting this amazing event again. And let's get back to this monster break here.
Wouldn't be possible without them, right, Tim?
Yep.
Wow, he hit that one good, but that cube almost curved straight in the corner.
Still,
yeah,
he really crushed him, but the pop from the cue ball is a little different. So
yeah, look.
See, like it doesn't really fly high. It just hops a ball in the air. Which the first break it hopped more, and he got that ball to the side. It's just a little reaction on the balls, different reaction.
But you could tell he's disappointed because he really tried hard to hit that ball dead square, and he hit it ever so slightly to the left, which is why the cube almost scratched.
Yeah.
That's why Shane, I think, is so special. He rarely mishits that head ball, which I really believe. I've always believed that's a major reason why his break has always been so consistent.
Ooh. And I'm not sure if that 6 ball. No, it looks like the 6 ball is not going to save Chang. It's just a 5 ball, which left a jump on the 1. Difficult jump, doesn't really always result in position on the 2, unless you can draw into the 2, which
that
of
would
course
be the
is
move.
Extremely difficult, but I think that would be the best shot.
Regardless, you have to shoot this with draw anyway, because if you make it, you do want to increase the chances. If you miss the 2, go 2 rails, maybe have a cut shot in the corner.
Yeah, he ran into the 2 and made the 7, which he obviously did not call in the corner pocket. So now Chang has the option to either give it back or take it himself. But as long as he can see the 1, I don't really see him giving this back. With 6 balls down table, he will find some kind of safety.
Yeah, he might try to put him behind the 6.
I think he's looking
or the
at banking the 1 ball over to the other side of the table and get maybe again the 4 or the 10. 2 chances. Maybe double
He's not
speed.
going to move it much.
Running
Nice,
to
very
the 4,
nice.
and if that 1 ball gets on the rail, it's even better.
He can control the speed so well. And I'm talking about in regards to the 1 ball, where if the cue ball had leaked and not run into the 4 ball, it's still going to leave him a very difficult shot on the 1 ball.
Long cut and risky cue ball after this if he makes it. Not a bad
Overcut
hit
it.
and
Overcut it.
cannot complain about the outcome. I mean, leaving the cue ball on the rail with a tough thin cut, and also the cue ball is going to run into the 3.
Yeah, use it as a bit of a stopper there. Just got to be careful that, you know, every once in a while you overcut it to the point where you hit the side of the 3 and it ends up going by the 8 and scratching off the 8 in the corner. You just got to guard yourself against that, because it is kind of a thin hit.
Oh,
so you have to really...
If he hits it firm with top.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at the 3 wound up doing that. Going off the 8.
That's what you described.
Yeah.
Huh? So now needs a good shot going to the 4. Would have actually liked to have the 3 ball stay on the table to maybe move towards the 4, as the position on the 2 ball was always going to be a little gamble. So
especially since it went below the 4, yeah.
Yeah. So I expect him to go 3 rails forward, center left.
Looks like he's going to go 2
But
rails,
going
maybe between the 5 and the 4.
Needs to be close to the side pocket, and
you try to go between the 5 and the 4.
well, maybe
ooh,
this
look
bump
at this.
is just enough. Yeah, he can't complain there. He's
no, he knows he got away with it. But
he knew he was
but he's
lucky.
happy that he's got away with it, because I think the fact that he hit it with the speed that he hit it, that's why he got rewarded. Oh, that ball took off on him. I'm surprised he didn't go 2 rails on that one. I always go 2 rails on that one in the slick cloth.
Oh, it's either soft roll with a lot of left spin or 2 rails.
But see, look how composed. He doesn't change his expression. Stays focused. Forget about what just happened.
He doesn't really change his rhythm either. He does the same thing over and over. It's not like, oh, now I'm under pressure, I'm going to do 1 less stroke, or I'm going to take more time.
Which is why he's so consistent. Look at that. Look how good he hit that.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Nice recovery shot, and back in line. Especially with the 9 in front of the side pocket, I expect him to make the 2 each.
He's BIL, right? Back in line?
Back in line, yeah.
BIL.
B-I.
You looked at me like, what did you just say?
I see water burning at the moment. I don't know what's happening.
Like getting near that spot, if possible.
Yeah, rather have a little bit too much angle than behind the 10 ball.
Yep.
So can choose to soft roll it right or top left. Top left. This 10 ball for 2 each.
And we're going to be going for a break, and we'll be back in a minute. And we're back. Have a great match going on here with Eklent Kaci and Chang Jung-Lin, and we are tied at 2 games apiece. I know that Kaci's been struggling a bit with the break. Let's see how Chang hits this one, breaking from the corner. Seems like a lot of players started breaking from the corner in the last event, which surprised me a bit, Tim, but I think they're playing the one. They're trying to play the one in the look. The one was going towards that side pocket and got kicked by the 7.
Yeah, I think the players are gaining a little more knowledge on what is going on the side break. So, like in this case, the one got kissed away. What is he going to do to make the one go go there?
Yeah, the next time, what kind of an adjustment needs to be made?
Because if he breaks from the same spot, the 4-railer is always going to kiss it away from the side pocket, so you need to move around. Which players probably have figured out, because it's usually what they start to look for. He's going to push for
Well, it's like the definition of insanity, you know, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's not going to happen unless you make an adjustment.
Yep.
Would you take this, or would you let him shoot? I think a lot of times it depends on how well my opponent
I give
pockets.
it back.
Yeah.
Because also you got a little angle going to the 6. So that means, let's say you hit it great and you just end up frozen on the 6, or maybe behind the 6, then it's not great. To get the cue ball out of that hole, out of that corner, is quite tough on this. And you actually want to come back up for the 2. Or at least a little bit. So
I would give it back to if it were dead straight, I would consider taking the shot.
I mean, just to make the ball, I mean, I give him nice percentages on that.
You know, so far he's overcut almost every single
jump
that he shot. Got away with it there, Tim.
Yeah, his plan might have been to run into the 6 on the edge of the 6 and then come up. But that's probably maybe the reason why he overcut that ball too. Yeah, Chang kicking 1 real.
He's not going to call his timeout.
But is he going to?
He's going to go soft. He's going to try to make it.
Oh,
yeah, he's definitely trying to make it there. Yeah.
Got a nice roll there too.
It's a good thing the one hit the point and came back to the cue ball. It was going straight in the pocket. He would have scratched there.
Yeah, that was the thing. If I was going to kick that speed, I was probably going to really try to hit the left side and not go for it. If I was going to go for it, I would probably play it soft. Like all in kind of thing.
Well, Tim, tell us about your recent U.S. Open finish. You finished in the top 64, I think 33rd. Watch you shoot a couple of racks there. You would seem to be hitting them great.
I actually was, yeah. No, I had a little flashback.
Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, I started feeling good. The tables were tight. You know, everything was a little different. Of course, it's a big show always, and then at some point I started playing pretty well, and at the end I made a big mistake to get myself back in the last 64 match, which happens. I mean, I haven't been playing all the tournaments, so I'm not on fire, but
yeah,
I was quite proud of how I handled myself around
these
good circumstances. So it was a good experience, yeah. And I also feel like I see the game a little quicker when doing commentary now. That's good.
Yeah.
I think a little faster.
Well, I've been playing the U.S. Open since I was in my 20s, and they've definitely done it justice in keeping it going. They've done an incredible job, and it's always an honor to play in such a prestigious event. Look how great he hit that ball.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was impossible for him to leave the angle on the 3 to go to the 4, so he just made sure he made the ball, and then after he was going to find out. Like now he's going to do big
Go
draw.
one rail, just guard yourself against the side pocket scratch.
Yeah, he didn't mind getting straight on the 4. He was always going to have something to go to the 5, and still some work to do from the 6 to the 7, especially with the sliding cloth. It's tough to get back perfect on the 7.
I got to practice a bit yesterday on the tables. These tables are running incredible, Tim. I'm really happy with the way these Predator tables are running. We actually had the pleasure of having the academy that I play out of in South Miami, Florida. They just got 2 of these tables in the academy, so I get to play on these tables every day.
That's a big deal, especially when you're starting to play all these events. I mean, I think pool is in a real good spot with all the Predator events at the moment. Then we got events like the International Open, US Open. Like if we have so many events, I think that's great for pool. But I mean, if then you can start to practice on the same equipment, I think it's a huge deal too. I still practice on Brunswicks, which every time I get to Predator tables, it's I mean, it's just different. Cannot expect everything to be the same.
Got a little funny there. Yeah, but I agree with you. Between Matchroom Predator, Pat Fleming with the International Open, Peter Burrows with the American 14.1 coming up next week, pool is in a better state now than I've seen it in many years. And I'm very excited about it. That's kind of the reason why I'm playing so much now. And that's why everyone's stepping up their game.
Oh,
ooh.
He was not so close too. He missed it quite a bit. And I'm sure did that right spin throw the 7 ball off more than he expected.
See if he moves it. He didn't move his body, but just his arm. His arm went to the side a bit, but I mean that was after the fact that he struck the ball. You know, a lot of times, Tim, when you miss it and you don't move, that's usually a good indicator that you aren't lined up correctly to begin with.
Yeah, I mean it's either that or the right spin he put on the cue ball probably turned the 7 ball over more, which happens with the sliding cloth. But he's made quite some good shots.
Oh, he's good there.
He made quite some good shots to miss that 7 ball. So this is a huge swing too, because this is to go on the hill, and
I like going up and down here. He's just got too much angle.
Yeah, he's got a little bit too much.
I mean, once you hit that bottom rail, if you hit it with enough speed to get past that 10 ball, you can end up all the way up table and still end up with a shot.
Yeah, I can also choose to go with inside around the 10. But definitely wanted to have Jung-Lin clean the cue ball before he was going to shoot this. So this 10 ball to steal this game and get on the hill first, Chang and Lin.
Yeah, that was a surprise there. He got a little out of line with the 7 ball.
Yeah, like I said, with the 6 ball too, like he was always going to leave quite some angle for the 6, and the cue ball is always going to turn when you cross over to the other side. It's always going to turn a little bit more when you get to the other side, and then it's tough to also get the speed perfect, which both of the things happened on him, and he got a little bit more angle. Then that 7 wasn't tough, but you still, like, if you're not tuned in, like he might, it looked like his speed is good right now, but maybe the spin, the touch is not completely there yet. So that means that on that 7 ball, he just, like I said, he missed it by half a diamond. He was not close enough to rattle the ball.
He didn't even hit the point. Yeah.
So let's
see if that 1 goes, right? Let's see.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it looks like he's breaking from the same spot. So if he's breaking from the same spot, I expect that. Let me see, 5 ball kicking the 1 away.
Yep, it did it again. And he didn't make a ball.
And
just like the last track. Oh, he caught a roll there.
It's a big swing.
That 5 ball, once again.
Hit him quite good, not bad. Just, I don't like how much spin he gave on the cue ball, but besides that, hit him quite.
So how would you make the adjustment, Tim? Would you try to break from the same spot and cut the 1 ball bit, or would you like to move the cue ball and continue to hit the 1 ball dead square? I like keeping the dead square hit.
Yeah. No, I'm not changing any aim because that's what you probably practiced on for weeks. You're practicing the good aim and being solid, and then when you start going everywhere, it usually breaks down a little bit. So I like going maybe a little bit more to the inside with the cue ball, but then some people don't like to have the close bridge break. They like to break from the rail. So then maybe a little bit backwards can also make the difference.
So what would you do here?
Tough. I might push and just make the 10 and leave some kind of shot on the... Oh, I'm not sure about this. I just don't like the 10 ball over the corner pocket.
Yeah.
And I was always going to leave the cue ball where it was right now, but I was going to make the 10 and then just soft roll kick into the 1. A little conservative shot.
Right.
I do agree with Chang giving this back because the only thing Kaci can do is just roll softly on the 1, and there's always going to be another safety for Chang after.
Right.
So
I think the other possibility here is to roll, to bank the 1 ball and stop the cue ball with the 5. And just deal with the 2 there, whether he has to play a safe or a bank or whatever he feels comfortable with.
Yeah, another shot we see often with the 1 being so close to the corner.
Touch it.
Yeah, like I said, from here there was always going to be some kind of safety. I mean, it's not easy. Like if he hits it a little bit too full, the 5 and the 1 are gonna separate.
Right. But he also has to guard himself against the scratch in the side. Doesn't want to hit it. I'm wondering if he's trying to use the 8 as a blocker, so that way it'll prevent him from kicking over the top rail.
Well, I was thinking maybe kicking it more thick, separating the 1 and the 5, but get the cue ball behind the 3. That's what I was looking for. Kaci's going to do the same thing, but again, now after this, Chang might get the stop shot behind the 5.
Right.
That could be in the making from this, so.
Don't be surprised if he kicks 2 rails here and tries to put him behind the 3, but he still has to hit it pretty good. Other option is just tap it and just hit it perfectly so that he doesn't leave him an easy 1, 2. Ooh. Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that. Came a little shorter than what he thought. I think he was trying to line up all 3 balls, like barely touch a 1 ball and have the 5 come out, but have the cue ball miss the 5, so that way he parallels all 3 balls. Yeah, I think that's what he was trying to do.
He was really looking for a super thin hit there. Tough. Yeah, now I expect
behind the 3, I think. Behind the 3, right?
Yeah.
Or the 2.
And if he can get it like to where Kaci cannot see the short rail, that would be super.
Did he get it? Nope.
Well,
might be
I think it's good enough. I think This is already good enough to not leave the easy one railer over the short rail. Kaci quite tall, might be able to still reach and go 3 rails. I mean, I'm not sure if I could reach it, but...
Well, more than anything, I like the speed that Chang hit it with, because he made sure he separated the 1 from the 5. Just in case he ends up getting ball in hand, he can at least now run out for the set.
Yeah, this is a tough kick. Also, using the short rail has the 7s really in the way. And trying to find the gap in between the 8-7, that's what he's looking for. This is extremely difficult because you have to start using a little left to find the gap in between.
It's got to be careful not to overhit it and have the cue ball go across the table and off the 9 into the corner, because that's always a possibility too.
Yeah, playing the messe around the 3 here, but... Oh,
wow.
wow. What a shot there from Kaci.
You know, when I shoot a shot like that in a tournament, the guy looks at me, you know, once in a while when I'm practicing my friend how lucky I got, I said, you don't understand, it took me 20 years to learn that shot. It's not an easy shot.
I mean, it's not difficult to hit for Chang, but he was in a pretty bad spot, so
yeah,
he cannot really be sad about the outcome here.
well, I think the takeaway there is the fact that he hit it soft. And that's what increased the chances of him continuing to leave the 1 near the 5. And he got rewarded for it.
The only thing, is it easy to hit this one over the long rail? Like, this might be close to hitting the 5 first.
Well, plus the 5 is going to stop the cue ball there, so.
No, it was a good hit, but
he was always going to stop the cue ball there with the 5.
So there's 2 shots. 2 shots he can shoot from here. I'm not sure. I don't think the 2 ball goes. So he could go for the carom on the 10, and he called it.
Well, this is to tie it 3-3, folks. Wow, how did he hit that? That was a great shot.
3 each. He ties the score. Hill in the first set.
And we have a barn burner here. Hell of a carom shot there by Kaci. Under the gun.
Yeah, and at times he's looking really good. He's made quite some good shots. Just set 7 ball in the last game. That was quite surprising.
So let's see what Kaci does here, if he makes any adjustment, Tim. He's still breaking from the center. Let's see if he hits a 1 dead square. If he hits a 1 dead square, I think he will increase the chances of making a ball. But I notice whenever he takes a little speed off, he fails to make a ball. He fails to pocket a ball in the break.
He needs a little bit more elevation. Like this, more pop. You see now the 2 balls are going.
But look at that. Oh, well, he made one. Okay, he made one. He got
he
rewarded.
Position, yeah. But you see the balls, they react so much different.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Well, it looks like he broke from the other side of the table because most of the balls are all the way up. Look, all of them went up.
Yeah.
It almost looks like he broke from the opposite side, right?
Yeah, no, this was kind of where I was going for, and he hit that great. So this is nice, good opportunity.
Straight on that 2 ball somehow, whether it's the corner or the side. I prefer the side if he has the angle. And just roll the cue ball forward for the 4. He doesn't have to do much to get on the 4.
Yeah, I would say 2 to the 4 is, well, 2, 4, 5, that's the thing where things might get messy.
Oh, the ball died on him because it slid.
Yeah, he did cheat the pocket nice. but he kind of forced it with follow, and that's where you see the cue ball curved.
Yep.
If he hit that more smooth, it was probably
Mm-hmm.
more speed still.
It would have retained more speed.
Yeah, it was tough. Not easy shot, so this is the position we have. He might be able to still go 3 rails. Got this, go 3 rails just next to the 7 and go straight to the 4.
I think that's the shot. I can see him shooting it in the corner, but it's just more difficult in the corner. He might have to call his extension because he's taking...
Good thing about this is that he's always going to have a nice angle to go 2 rails to the 5. So, I mean, if he can manage to get just to the center of the table...
I love the fact that he's taking his time, though, because you know that this is a hill rack.
Yeah, this is the shot, almost.
Yeah, this is almost the equivalent of the 10.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he went to go
Did
for the
shoot
corner.
it in the corner.
Oh, and I am not too sure about that.
You know, maybe
Did
the
the
angle,
cut was
maybe the angle he had on the 2 didn't allow him to get there. I thought it did. It seemed like it did. But he loses his turn at the table now.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't call the 7 ball, but I'm sure Chang is shooting here. No time to waste. Like we said, this is key shot. If he gets on the 4. Playing stun left. Going for the center of the table. That's what he's aiming for. Oh, he hit that great.
Yeah. No surprise there, though. I like going 2 rails here as opposed to 3 rails because sometimes if you catch that ball thick, you might slow down the speed of the cue ball, kind of like what he did.
Stun left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just let the cue ball go up table, like just low left. Make sure you get past the 10, and if you hit the 3rd rail, it's okay.
And make sure you come short of the side pocket. It's like that. Now just roll up a bit. Gain an angle on the 6 ball. Leave it by where that white line is.
Yeah, it's still not over. There still needs to get from the 8 to the 9 because the 9 is still not really available. Only for the top left corner. So need some good positioning here.
So I guess the 9 is going to be played depending how he gets on the 8, Tim. All depends on how he gets on the 8.
I mean, either way is okay, as long as he doesn't get straight. And he didn't. If he had the over angle, he could stun over. Now he has the angle to the short rail. Goes with topspin to the center of the table. But it's still, it needs to have the perfect speed. Because if you overrun it, you're behind the 10. If you hit it too short, you will have a tough cut on the 9 or maybe no shot.
Yeah. No, he hit it good. He hit it good. He hit it perfect.
Yeah. Still had a little bit more room to go for, so hit that great. And
I definitely like going 2 rails here, playing the 10 in the side.
yeah, top right.
Just a little bit, not a lot, right?
I mean, it's
Just
either
a little
top
bit.
right or spin the ball soft with left and twist the 9 in and go to the other side for the 10, the same corner. But I did like this better.
But you see how he hit on the thick side? That's why he came a little short. I mean, he's fine here, but I know he wanted to get straighter on that.
Yeah, and then this 10 ball to win the first set over Eklent Kaci. 4-3.
All right.
Chang Jung-Lin.
So Chang Jung-Lin takes the first set.
And Kaci is going for a short break, and so are we. We'll be right back.
We're back, but the players are still on a break.
Yeah, it's a great week here in the Roberts Center in the CSI Ohio State. Here we see it. It's the Ohio State Championships. Those championships are being played on the new 7-foot Predator Apex Premier League Edition tables. There's 50 of them in this building, and we're expecting over 125 teams this week.
Wow.
It's more than 500 people in this room, which is, in my opinion, great for the pros as well, because they really get the respect they deserve, in my opinion.
Were you here last year for the Ohio Open, Tim?
No, I
It was
couldn't be
packed here. When I played in this event last year, they didn't even have this many for the singles. It was like almost completely empty. But as soon as the teams came here, you could barely walk. Right? It was pretty nice.
Yeah, I've traveled many times to Ohio. I used to practice a lot with D. Atkins in his junior training center, and everywhere I went, they were only talking about the league. You know, oh, I gotta play league here and league there, and then.
Yeah, they're really into it.
And like they all like the team stuff. Like the team stuff is really going here. They have team tournaments, like 2-player tournaments, 3-player teams, 4-player teams. Like they all do it 5 sometimes. It's really cool. Something we don't really have in Europe. It's really different. So it's nice to see that the players are so enthusiastic about the whole.
Yeah, it's true.
Thing, you know?
Last night I went to a bar that had 8 valley tables, 7-foot tables, just to hit some balls before I even came to the players meeting, because I wasn't sure if I was going to get a chance to practice it, because there's so many players here. Sometimes you're lucky to get a rack in. And they said, well, we can give you a table, but first let me find out how many we need for the league tonight. Just like you said, everyone's into the league.
Yeah, and that's also where the bars. I mean, that's also where they get the revenue from. You know, it's also important for the bars to have the players. You know, especially the bigger groups of people. It's
Absolutely, that's how business survives.
Yeah. Yeah, here we have the venue. Everything's great here so far. Here's the Predator Apex 9-foot tables with 6 more tables in the back we've seen.
It's a beautiful setup.
Yeah,
and I'm very familiar with the table. I get to play on it every day now that we have 2 at the Academy. I want to say hi to everyone at the South Day Billiards Academy. They're amazing people. I've been so blessed that I moved there and got to know all of them. And it's a very great group, and I hope to see them at some of these events at some point. I know some of them are planning to possibly go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico, also one of the Pro Billiard series, and CSI is also running there.
November 14th to the 22nd, they're going to start with the 10-ball, the Puerto Rico Open, and then after that, take a day off, and then set it off with the World 8-Ball Championship. It's going to be the first time in the history of the island that they have an official world championship, so I'm pretty excited about that, given the fact that my parents were born in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's.
I have family and friends there.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Also, the CSI state championships there. Everybody can still enlist and go. I heard that they still have spots available for teams and singles. So, I mean, be there or be square.
Awesome. So let's see if Chang makes that adjustment, Tim, with the break. See if he can figure out a way. Look, he saw. That's smart.
Yeah, no, I mean,
smart.
Kaci had a good pop break. If I see my opponent do this, I'm trying to do the same. I'm not saying I can, but I'm trying to.
But he has to try to hit it the same way. There you
nice
go, just like that. Wow.
But he needs a little more.
Wow.
But
No,
okay,
he got it. He got it. He hit that really nice.
Just looking on the 2 balls to the sides, I was hoping for a little bit more swing. But still, if you look at the spread, and you hit that great here.
See, let's see how squarely he hit. You see, look, he stopped the cue ball right there. He hit that, I mean, about as good as you can hit it.
Yeah.
Only Tim would hit it better.
Well, it's easy to say from the commentary booth. So,
I got faith in you, kid. I really do. I love your game. I really do.
Thanks.
It was great watching you play at the Open.
So, I am wondering, how much can he see from the 1? Like, if he can make it, he's going for it. If he can only see the left side, he's overcutting the one and playing safe.
Oh, he can see it. I think he's going to go for
I'm
it.
shooting
Just
here.
got to watch it if he runs into the 7 or the 4.
Ooh.
Missed it. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, wondering if he played maybe a little bit of left spin, little inside on this to make the angle longer.
Yeah.
And that's usually where they start to overcut the one.
It's a possibility.
Those are the minimal stuff a lot of players don't think about, which I always try to think about at least. It's tough to see from the screen, but
You played this format before, right, Tim?
yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How do you feel? Oh, watch this. He hit it great with the controlling the one. It was just that was a tricky part, but he got straight here,
He got
unfortunately.
dead straight on the one. Oh, that's
the speed you want to hit it to control the one. You just have to guard yourself against the scratch. So
yeah. Ah, great shot, just straight on the one, and we might see some magic here.
yeah, maybe
This is actually my
rail
favorite
first.
shot. My favorite shot is jacking up and spear it in and masse all
masse.
over.
Yeah, that's a
That's
tough
my
shot.
that's my
That's a tough
favorite at
shot,
the
yeah.
moment.
You must really practice that one a lot if
Yeah,
it's your
yeah.
favorite shot.
I love it.
How do you aim it?
It's like I'm overcutting the ball, and then
He didn't scratch, did he?
Ooh,
Oh, he
oh.
did.
I mean, he hit that so good going real
Yeah.
first. Especially if you look at the time frame, they're having a 30-second shot clock, and
Mhm.
in 30 seconds he made up where he was gonna hit it, what speed, to then scratch off the 4, which is, I mean,
You have
hit
to
a
hit it so
little fuller
perfect.
or a little thinner, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, brutal.
But getting back to what I was asking you before, when you played in this format, how do you feel? What's the mindset when you lose the first match, knowing that you are going to be forced to go to the shootout?
First
Do you
set,
think, when you lose the first set, do you tell yourself, hey, I'm just going to have to accept the fact that I'm going to go to shootout, do the best that I can to win the second set to force a shootout, or does it anger you a bit in a negative way or in a more positive way where it makes you more determined?
Well, I'm like quite a player. I really try very hard usually when I play. Like
Mhm.
I'm a real fighter. Like I don't like any give up. I really try to force myself to. Every time I make some kind of mistake, get back to the chair and be like, okay, next, if I get to the table next time, come on, let's go, because especially in these races of 4, you
Yeah.
can easily turn it around. Okay, when you're playing a race to 9 and you're down 7-0, I can understand you might get a little depressed.
Yeah,
I
a
can
little
understand.
discouraged, but
But
that's
especially
not so.
in this format, I would not even think about. Well, I would think about real short and go like, man, if you give up from here, you're just giving it away.
Yeah, no, and what do you travel so far for?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I try to
And
tell
then
people too.
lose one race to 4
Yeah.
and go like, oh, well, never mind. That's,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's when you're a sucker if you do it,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, one thing's for sure, this man is not.
Yeah, no. I mean, and he's starting to speed up too, so it looks
Yeah.
like.
No, you see, he feels very comfortable now. Remember when we said that in the beginning, he's not quite gotten the speed of the table yet? I think now he has.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing for the players. Whenever they get more comfortable, they start to speed up a little bit. But the main thing is whenever there's a lot of pressure, don't slow down too crazy, especially in the
Mhm.
execution. You can take a little more time to be around the table, just not in your shots. I mean, you don't get to see this man take 10 more strokes just to make sure. He won't do that. And a little risky shot on the 9.
I think he
try to
thought he
get some
overdrew it.
play.
I thought well, Chang takes the first rack for 1-0 lead in set number 2.
Yeah, and I mean,
And
Kaci had a
Kaci
good
must
opportunity.
win. Yeah, he did have an opportunity. He must win this set in order to survive and force a shootout.
yeah, and I mean, he's not in a great spot from here. I mean, he missed that 7 ball in the first set, and now he's down in the second set. But like I said, it's only a race to 4, so
Yeah. Oop, look at that. John almost made a mistake. He almost put the 2 as a head ball.
almost.
Rectified it right away. Well, once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors and partners for this event, which are FargoRate, Predator Cues, CueSports International, and the U.S. Pro Billiard Series partners are Cyberts, Kamui, Alpha Coin, Jam Up Apparel, and Medalla Light. Without you, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you very much. All right, so he had a great break, the first rack. Let's see how he hits this one, Tim. Remember, he had made a ball on the break, missed a long, tough shot on the 1. Kaci, fortunately, made a good billiard on the 1 to the 8 and made a fantastic shot on the 1, but scratched.
Yeah.
So let's see if he takes full advantage of this.
Yeah, it needs that same pop. Nice pop, the 8 goes. The 1 stays in front of the pocket.
Wow.
And
wow, he hit that good.
Yeah, I would be happy.
I would. I always tell people I take that for the U.S. Open or the World Championship.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll take that in league. I mean, this is great. Super break.
Talking about the U.S. Open, how incredible was it that Francisco won that? Huh?
Yeah.
So happy for that kid.
I mean, if you just look at
Super
his
proud of him.
results this year, I'm also sure that he's going to play on the
streaming table next. I'm going to be doing
match.
Commentary with Mark White on that one. So I hope you tune in again.
I mean, if you're about to leave the stream after this match, then I don't know if you like pool, because you got to watch this man play. He's such a great player. And also, if you just look at the year he's had and all the tournaments he's won.
And he was just invited to the Mosconi Cup, too.
Yeah, great to watch. So let's go back here. Decided to go 3 wheels to the 2. Has a little angle on the 2.
I think he's looking to see if he can hold it up enough to avoid running into the 9 or the 6.
Well, I was thinking he might run into the 6. Depends on where the 6 ball really goes.
Well, you don't want to put it too close to the 7 and ruin anything, and you don't want to run into the 6 to the point where you have to shoot over the 9 either,
Yeah,
right?
just soft like this.
Yeah, there you go.
I did like this.
Yep. As long as you don't end up having to shoot over the 9, that was the key there.
Yeah.
You hit it perfectly. See, right on the top of it. And the reason why it's so important to hit it right on the top is so that you give the cue ball a chance to escape. Because if you hit it dead on, you're shooting over that 9.
Yeah. Yeah, and he completely opened up the game from there, because the 6 ball only went to the 2 side pockets, and it was not easy to go, to the other side to shoot it in the side and then go back. So from this, there's a little angle.
Yeah, he's fine. He's just going to roll it up a bit.
And like I said, he's really starting to feel the rhythm too, which I think he will get even more dangerous.
Leave the cue ball more or less where it's at now.
Yeah, maybe mini draw, not much.
Or play the 9 on the side.
Or stun over the side, yeah. I mean, what more can we say?
Yeah. No, Chang is definitely in stroke, and he feels confident, and he's definitely taken advantage of the opportunities in the latter part of the match.
And if you just look how he's feeling good. 2-0 over Eklent Kaci. Eklent can start worrying. I mean, if you just look at Chang's demeanor from here, like Kaci only made, what is it? Like he made 1 mistake? Like he missed the 7 ball in the first set. Besides that, I don't really remember him making much more mistakes.
Yeah,
like
just the 1 ball, but he won that rack, the first rack, when he missed the 1 ball. That was basically it. You don't always get an opportunity to get back, but sometimes you. How many times have you seen where, or we've spoken about where, no matter how good you play, there are still crucial parts of the match at some point that you need to get the roll in order to win a tournament.
Yeah, so many times. Well, it's just, I think it's interesting. Kaci hasn't really made many mistakes, and it still got Chang so on fire, like being comfortable and everything. Usually when 2 players are like really close to each other, both start struggling or like they start playing their best. Chang just went from already playing quite good to, monster mode almost.
Yeah. Talk about monster mode. Let's see if he does another monster break, because that's how he's been breaking, like a monster. He's been controlling that cue ball very well and ending up with a shot on the 1 ball for the most part. And that's what they're doing. He's playing position for the 1 in that upper right-hand corner pocket. Did he get it?
Yeah.
He sure did.
Oh, and This is so sweet.
And look, watch how crucial this is right here. The 3 stopped right by the 8. But where the 2 ball stop, it increases the chances of him playing position on the 3. I like stopping the cue ball there possibly, or drawing it back a bit and shooting the 2 ball 1 rail and running into the 8 if necessary. But
yeah, you can either run into the 8 or play to where the 1 ball is
exactly.
now. Yeah.
But if you do run into the 8, you don't want to hit it too hard because you don't want to block the pocket for the 4 and put the 8 in a bad spot. But more importantly, you don't want to end up too straight on the 3. So it's a touchy shot either way. See,
yeah,
draw it back a bit.
I think I might like just to go 1 rail and leave myself quite some angle on the 3 too. If you run into the 8, you might get really straight on the 3, and that could cause a little trouble. But I think this is also preference. Some players really like to bump into the 8 because they know they're not gonna hit it too full, like good cue ball. Some players, they just like to stay away from all kissing the balls.
See, hit that side of the 8, but don't get straight. I don't know if he might have gotten a little too
angle,
straight.
But not my favorite angle. I've asked many players. Like, I'm a player, I like to bump balls a little bit and move them around. There's a lot of players that when I told them, like, hey, I'm shooting this and this, they would go, why would you even bother running into that? Like, why would you even do this?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the bigger differences, like, in between the players, just about preference. Running into balls or not. Some players really don't like to, and some players, they do it all the time.
I have a massive advantage that I'm a straight pool player. I've been playing straight pool my entire life, so it's like I don't have a problem running into balls. You think he might consider the bank here if he can't get the cue ball to move that much, or you think he's going to try to go?
I'm always going to try and really force the cue out of the rail.
Well, you got to be careful not to miss the ball either, because these are 4¼ inch pockets. Even though they're playing a little bigger with a new cloth.
Can you play stun draw maybe to the
maybe
rail
the
with
rail
a lot
first?
of spin? Oh.
Right? So he did play the bank.
Yeah, I think so. It's either the bank or...
Well, he has kind of like an off angle here. It's a little tricky to get the cue ball out of there and get in good position for the 5 ball. If he does decide to go for the bank, I think the key here is to make sure he focuses on making the bank.
Yeah, I think he called the bank. It's a nice stun, 3 wheels around.
Very
Goes
nice.
in, and the speed is there. Great shot
Absolutely
from Chang
perfect. And that was a massive shot there, considering that this is to go on the hill. So he needs to make sure he doesn't get straight on that 7 if he's playing in the upper right-hand corner pocket. Just enough angle.
No, he's left himself perfect on the 7. And, I mean, not much more Kaci can do in this second set, too. He's watching his opponent break and running on him. And, yeah, I don't really see Chang going crazy here. I mean, of course, mistakes are human, but this just looks so good.
Yeah, he's definitely very, very comfortable now. Go 2 rails here. 1, 2.
Perfect on the 10 ball to go on the hill here. Jung-Lin all the way from Chinese Taipei. Up 3-0 against Eklent Kaci from Albania. We'll go for a short break. Stay tuned.
Okay, we're back with Chang about to break, leading the second set by 3 games to none after winning the first set, Hill 4-3. And this set, he's broken pretty much near perfect the entire set, Tim. Wow, he scratched. He scratched on that one, Tim.
And, well, I mean, this is last call for Kaci.
Let's see if we get a replay of that break. Yep, curved straight into the side pocket.
Same hop, a lot of balls moving, but just not straight in the face. And like I said, last call for Kaci. He hasn't really, he's not even been around the table the whole second set. Chang was strong, but especially this is why the format works so great. It's not over for Kaci. Like, he could really battle himself back into this if he really wants to. Like, if he can dig deep and get it done.
And at the level that we're playing, it's not impossible. I mean, it's obviously it's very difficult. You have to have everything go right and shoot on top of that. But it's not impossible to run a 4-pack.
No.
Mika did it in Vegas in March.
I mean, I've seen many players do 3. So, what's the difference with 3 and 4? It's a nice angle on the 3. Doesn't want to get straight. Okay.
I mean, even if he did, he could play the 4 on the side. But
yeah, just
I kind of like playing the 4 on the side anyway. I don't have to really do anything special with the cue ball here. If you got straight or almost straight, you can even just stop it there or have an angle and play the 5 in the side, depending how you get on the 4.
I just was hoping not to get the cue ball sticking on the rail.
Right.
Like that straight. He still had a little angle to get off. And yeah, can either stop the cue ball or go forward for the 5 in the side. It's kind of, you can go top left, or if he just wants to stop the cue ball, then. This is also what I really like about 10 ball is to where even if they break well and they make one or two balls, they still have to do like really nice positional play in the first couple shots. To then, like, when you see it open up and get more space, then you really just get the, you know, they don't play the perfect angles no more because they're usually quite okay then.
I had a former coach that told me that he did some experimenting and he found that running out in 10 ball is much more difficult than 9 ball because since they're racked in a different formation, triangles opposed to the diamond, the ball spread differently, which makes it more difficult to spread. And I found that very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen it with 9 ball too. Like, I've seen many players, like I've seen great matches, but I also seen many players running out a couple games of 9 ball and not really playing the best position shapes you could play, which in the beginning of 10 ball you have to, otherwise you're hooked.
Well, he's breezing through this rack. And as you all know, he is a world champion. So there is no quit in him.
Yeah, this man is a champion. So scratch on the break by Chang, and Kaci runs out. 3-1, still trailing, but he's not giving up. Yeah, also a rumor has been going around that Mr. Kaci is opening a pool room in Albania.
I didn't know that. Is that true?
I've heard stuff going around. I mean,
you know what? I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him after the match. I'm going to ask him if there's any truth to that. Maybe we'll get back to you on that one.
No, I mean, it would be. I think it would be great for him too because he's, of course, in his country, he's one of a kind. I know his little brother is trying to do the same thing with snooker in a little pool, but like he's the one and only almost in his country. So now if he can get his own pool room, I think it would be great to get the sport even bigger, get more Albanians maybe on the tour.
I wish him the best if he does do that. It's a lot of work. Let's see how he hits this one.
Less.
9 ball? Nope. No
I was
one.
gonna say less
No
hop on
one.
the cue
Yeah,
ball, and
no one. He's only saving grace there. Well,
Oh, but
might be
that
there where the 9
9
ball stops. Oh, that 9 ball
oh,
stopped.
oh, that saved him.
Yeah, no,
The
kind of. He's gonna bury him behind the
Yeah.
9.
I mean, the 6-8.
That's like
Still a
that's
little
one of the
thing.
worst situations to be in, Tim, when you're hill. You break. See, over here, I kind of like shooting the 1 and moving the 8 out of the way before shooting the 2-9 safe. That way, I open that. I'm killing 2 birds or 3 birds with 1 stone, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of that cluster and I'm getting rid of the 2 from the 9. That was a shot there.
Yeah. And now he left himself a little more angle on the 2 than I expected him. Just
I
has
don't
to
think
make
he's
sure
going
he
to be
doesn't hit.
complaining, though.
No, he can also still play it soft as long
Yeah.
as he buries the cue ball. He needs to be like frozen to that 9 ball to where he doesn't leave any one real easy kick. So no long rail kick. It's always the nightmares some players have on shots like this is that the 2 ball might run into the 9 from the back. I've seen many players struggle with this.
Yeah. You don't want to run into the 4 and accidentally make one of the 4 or the 2. Maybe just touch it. That's it. Just touch it a bit. I don't think that's where you want to be, though. He's kind of a
strong enough.
fairly easy kick shot. I'm not saying it's a guarantee he's going to leave him safe, but he's at least giving him the opportunity to get lucky.
Yeah, the more percentage you give the guy to hit the ball, the more, the bigger the chances to get lucky too.
Correct.
Even when they sometimes hit a horrible, like they hit it with the wrong speed or like something really stupid, they can get lucky.
Do you like kicking this with a lot of speed and try to make something happen, or would you prefer to hit it soft and try to leave, hopefully, the 2 on the rail?
I think I might put a lot of speed, hit the inside of the 2 and maybe get the cue ball all the way back up table and leave the 2 ball zigzagging like this.
That's exactly. Yeah, well, I was going to say, if you're down 3-1, you have to take the chance.
He
The
just
thing is that did he not call a pocket at all?
he did. He called
He called the other.
corner
Oh,
pockets.
yeah. So that's just unfortunate that he made. Yeah.
I mean, he just caught it a little bit too thick to where my mind was going with the cue ball up table. But he, like I said, a lot of speed. If he doesn't make the 2, it leaves separation.
But you still have to call it just in case you make it anyway. How many times you see players, myself included, I don't call it knowing that I might get lucky and then I make it, and then
Sometimes
I'm sick
off
that I have
another
to
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is quite brutal. So Chang's safety was good enough, and this is to seal the deal.
Yeah, and it's like I said earlier, you have to hope that you have everything go right for you when you're down 3-0 and try to come back and tie it hill with the and get the opportunity to possibly win the second set. And unfortunately, that did not happen for Eklent.
Well, on the other side, Eklent did have the fair opportunity in the first set where he missed the 7 ball to go on the hill and then took the game after, which could have been 4-2. So, and he'll know. I mean, I'm pretty sure he will say afterwards that, yeah, I mean, I missed that 7 ball and after Chang just got cruising. That's what happened.
Got a little funny there. Got a little funny on the 6 ball.
Can he go forward and not run to in the 8?
I think he can go forward, not run into the 9. But I'm pretty sure that's not where he wants. I think if he hits it with draw, he's going to go behind the 10, you see? So he's going to have to just get past the 9, go towards the center of the table. Right? Barely, because that's why he hit it with
but
the
you know,
right
it's
speed.
such a big difference. If he gets more straight on this 7 ball, it's actually like it's not a nice shot to go. And now he just barely missed the 9, and he's got a nice angle on the 7.
Yeah.
People will say it's lucky. I think this was pure skill.
Oh, yeah.
It was pure touch.
Just wondering if he's going to draw between the 8 and the 9. Or is he going to try to go past the 9?
I like to go straight to the short rail in between
Yeah.
the 8
Yeah,
and the...
absolutely.
Oh,
He
drawn
might
a
hit
little
it.
bit
No,
too
he
much.
hit it right, I think. He hit it right to get lucky.
Oh. Well, I'm not sure if he was trying to get to that side of the 8.
No, he wasn't. There's no doubt about that. But he happened to hit it where he needed to in order to get lucky on the 8, because I mean,
yeah.
let's be serious. He got a roll there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So just these 2 balls to win this first round match in the FargoRate Ohio Open 64-player field. We'll have plenty more of action to come. Make sure you tune in for the next matches as well. We've got some crazy good stuff coming up.
Yeah, we have Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz playing Wojciech, the reigning world 10-ball champion. And this 10-ball for the match, right? Mr. Chang Jung-Lin defeats Eklent Kaci. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back with the next match at 12 p.m.
Yeah, my name is Tim de Ruyter, and with me was Tony Robles. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, bud.
Stay tuned.